Normally in a new release video like this, we talk about fixes more than features, but in NinjaTrader 8.0.16.1, we're actually going to be talking about more features than fixes. I know, kind of odd. So stay tuned right after this, and we'll be looking at 7 new features and 6 important fixes that you have to know about for NinjaTrader 8.0.16.1. One three one three two. Now the chart trader size can be adjusted to whatever size you want. It's not just going to be a static bar on the side of your screen. This is really going to be useful depending on how small you like to make the charts on your monitors and for making the most out of that screen real estate. Even if you only use one chart, it's nice to have complete control over how much that screen real estate an order sidebar is going to take up. For those of you who like using a lot of charts on your screen all at once, this is something that you're going to want to use. 13129 indicators now have the ability to save templates to keep settings the way that you want them, which is going to be handy if you want to pass those settings onto a friend, or say that you have different settings for slow or fast markets and any other reason that you might be able to think of. 13071, you can now display an FX tile inside of a chart. So similar to how you can use an FX board, but this is going to be actually one tile sort of inside of that chart. I'm sure that some of you will still probably use the FX board, but for the most part, putting it into a chart makes a lot more sense. However, you can kind of use them interchangeably if you want to use the FX board or if you want to use a tile inside of a chart. It's totally up to you now. 13130 are actually a change in how the icons look. I guess we can call this a feature if you like it. If you don't like it, it's probably not such a great feature, but it does give it a little bit more of a minimalist effect. And for that reason, I guess they toss it in as a feature. Whether or not it's a fix even or how you want to classify that, it's an icon change. So that's 13130. 12893 is actually the ability to add a mini chart inside of the market analyzer column. This can be useful if you just want to know like a general daily overview or something like that. You want to know a quick direction of where things have been going in the last day, or maybe you want to reconfigure it to an hourly or a 30-minute or a 5-minute or whatever you want it to be. Basically, it's just a mini chart inside of the market analyzer column. Now 13048, I doubt many of you guys actually knew about this, but there was a feature in there where if you used to click in the quantity bar, okay, in the quantity sort of section there with your middle mouse, it would pop up with a quantity pad. Okay, this is going to be a quick sort of set on where you can set order sizes. However, what you might want to now do is just click that little button. This is useful for those people who didn't have a middle mouse button or had no idea that the feature even existed. So I don't know if this is much of a feature. This button, I guess, would be the feature, but the actual pad has been there all along. Now for a few important fixes. So 13201, I hit this one all the time, but if you use the new polygon tool that was added in a recent previous release, you might be using alert templates with that. Okay, so for example, you might have a template for that polygon where it would change it from the normal blue to a red because you're going to attach an alert order to it. So you would draw your polygon, and of course, maybe you did it with 4 sides, for instance. And then what you would do is you would go in and you would apply that template to a polygon that then had 6 sides to it, and then the object would just disappear. Well, I know many of you guys have hit that before, and I certainly did. Well, that's now been fixed in this release. 13206. So hotkeys to switch snap modes, okay, did not function while drawing an object. So if you were to use even, let's just say our pattern tools where you can go drawing an object with our drawing tool, if you wanted to switch the snap mode while you're drawing it from a fixed sort of snap to a free form, you couldn't do that with hotkeys while you were drawing the object. Well, that is now fixed as well. 13087. So some order entry hotkeys actually stopped working while chart trader was hidden. So if you had hidden your chart trader and you were actually trying to fire off an order, sometimes that wouldn't work. So just try to use your hotkeys now. They should work, I guess, whenever you're chart trader is hidden, but I haven't tested that one out yet. So if you have any questions or concerns about it, type in the comments below. Be happy to help you address it. 13097. This resolved a scenario, which they didn't really go into, where it could result in a saved workspace coming up blank. Okay, now there was no real details or explanation on this one. I haven't asked for one, but I never ran into it. I don't know if you did. If you did, let me know. Maybe you might have some ideas on what caused it, but it has been fixed. So I guess that's a good thing. 13249 resolved an unintentional code breaking change. Now, this fix was actually released as 8.0.16.1. All the other features and fixes were released in 8.0.16.0. So this must have been a showstopper bug that got into production, and then they realized it after everyone started downloading 8.0.16.0. So they released 8.0.16.1, which was to address something. Again, I'd like more of an explanation, but something that caused an unintentional code break, I'm assuming, for a bunch of third parties or people who have developed code themselves who ran into this issue with code just stopping from executing. So that has been fixed. Make sure if you did download 8.0.16.0 that you now have the 0.1 release that includes this additional, probably most important fix that they did include. Well, as always, if you want to keep on top of those new NinjaTrader 8 releases, remember that you have to hit that subscribe button, give that little bell a ring too so that you get notified on all our future videos. So don't forget to grab our free news indicator that puts those news events on your charts as well. That way you'll be ready and ahead of the news when it will come out, so it won't catch you by surprise, and you can move all your stops and orders and everything else that you need to. If you have to close trades or do whatever you want to do, you will know about it. So feel free, that tool is 100% free. You can get it off our website, XABCDtrading.com.